Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about Kubernetes and as you can see on the screen, and now we're going to deploy a MySQL persistent volume. We're going to containerize MySQL and expose this as a NodePort for double checking our database later from a workbench provider. And we're going to create an application with the authorization as OUATH2. In this case here right now we're going to deploy the persistent volume. Here you can see we have two YAMLs. So the first thing I'm going to apply the first one, which is my persistent volume. It's going to be having some effect about persistent volumes claims. It's just created, okay, and as you can see the persistent volumes from here. Let's leave on the workloads. And now we are going to deploy MySQL. So in this case is the other YAML file. I can share everything later. This is going to create deployment and a service. It's going to really get some effect on the screen right now. All the repositories is going to be on the description, so you guys can double check what I'm using, etc. I don't want to go deep into the YAML that I have to create because it's not part of the lab. It's just we're going to use data structure. For example, here it has the deployment MySQL and the service. You can access MySQL inside the cluster and outside the cluster. Okay, so right now we are going to deploy a OAuth application, which is here. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a Docker image of it. First, we can install it. Let's install the application, and once install it, we can create the Docker image, and we can deploy it on our K8s. Okay. Okay, it's just running. Simple command. I could be running this inside the Docker image, which I'm gonna share in fill. Okay, so now let's create our image that I call it James Medich OAuth app. Oh, looks like there is something wrong on the command. Okay, now it's okay. It's going to be creating our image. You know, I'm going to share the YAML deployment. Here's our YAML deployment. So in this case, we here just have a service. Exposes NodePort. Here is our Docker image. I'm not pulling, not getting in the hub. It's locally. That's why I'm using never. And there's a config map. Okay, the image is just created. Perfect. Now we are going to deploy inside Kubernetes. So this is our deployment YAML. So forget it. It's going to be deploying our application. All right, looks like it's everything deployed. So in case here is deployed as a NodePort, our application can be accessed outside the cluster without any gateway. So is the external port. All right. So we have a Swagger thing. OMG. What is the port? No, I'm not getting it. 237. Okay, here we go. That's the application. Here, I definitely created a controller to expose some admin stuff like the environment controller, which exposes the profiles and the system environment vars. So if you run here, you're not authorized. Invalid token, like we can get from here. For example, was the environment locally. I was testing with a different application running locally. So this is invalid access token. Also, here too, the profiles. You're not authorized. I just, with this plugin at Chrome, I can add authorization token. In this case, we're going to get into our token right now. So this is the port. Let's go into the Postman. So this is two users, like the one username with the password, with the grant type, and this is another one. We're gonna, in this case, gonna run this first. Let's save it. Okay, just generated a token for us. We can try with this token. Let's save. Okay, let's try running. Oh, access denied. The token, you can see, is a different message. It was just denied. So I don't have the authority for it. Let's try the other one. Going to change. This is the other token. Okay. Let's try this token. Okay, get everything here. So here I'm going to explain. We're going to connect into, I just put like, all those users are applied to go into the application, to the token stuff, but for users, they have different authorities. So about OUATH2, here we go. This is our database. This is locally, but it's the same database as we can. Let's connect on the database. It's gonna be better. It's just Amazon database was running here. Let me just remove. Here's the same local host is in this machine. The port of it, which is the port, external port. Like we're proxying that here. Okay. Okay, we can leave it there. Schema, which is the schema of our application. Let me just go into the GitHub and get everything. Anyway, I think the schema is the same name as here. Security authorization authentication serves OUATH2. We can get there. Better show. Still not merged, so here. Resources. This is our database. Actually, all those properties, one nice thing. You can see the password is encrypted. I'm not using env vars like I put all those other vars on the Docker file. Okay. With env is going to be persisted inside the container. With you, args is just on the construction here. So in this case here also the deployment. Alright, share the service, the deployment, and the config map. I could use the variables here, but it's not beautiful having a password inside a config map. It's my opinion. Even though I could create a secret, but with the secret I just not be using the JavaZipped framework, which is this thing here. I would like to share. It is very nice and very good to use. It's becoming very famous. This guy here, JavaZipped. for this encryptation stuff. I don't know if you're still using Cipher, whatever. So here we go. It's going to be asking the password, probably. So we're connecting to a database in the containerized database. Let's go faster. When you're not doing the video, it's extremely fast. When you're doing the video, it's not fast. Let's wait for that. Anyway, you guys can see that in case we have one username and another username, of course, different passwords. Come on. And one is allowed, the other is not. We can see that the application just could run that. Oh, okay, here we go. Not responding. Thank you very much. And I'm going to be showing the product itself where I configure that stuff. So our security. In that case, here is just the web security configure adapter. Okay, what I want to share, not the authorization adapter. I want to share this. Yes, the research server. In this case, everyone that has authority admin is allowed to access the environment. So everything that matches with the environment must have the authority as admin. So that's why. Here we go. Didn't connect. Let's try again. I can't remember the port. Let's get a port. No, this port. I think I got the wrong port. Sorry. Cut it off. Schema. We had a schema somewhere. OMG. It's missing IS over here. Let's do OK. Yeah. I used the wrong port. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's the database inside the cluster. This database here is inside the cluster. Inside this deployment, this persistent volume stuff. Okay. So what we have here? All those tables, you guys can see there, I didn't connect in the database before to create any table or anything. Everything was created on the fly using the Spring Boot. Like here, main resources, schema and data. You run it with initialization mode always, so you're going to be running the scripts. Just to finish it, that here we have our OUT users. You guys can see those names here. You have James, Matthew, Thiago, and Lucas. And you have the user authorities. Here's the between table to connect with the authority. So you can have the user one has all these authorities and the user two, these three, and four, or whatever. Let's go to authority. So in this case, the authority number 10, which is admin, which is connected to the user ID 4. The user ID 4 who is Lucas. That's why running the bare token Lucas, you are able to see this. And for example, if you run the Thiago again, which is, we already had this token, going to copy it again. If you run the Tiago token, denied. Because Tiago number three, number three has 3 and 7. 3 and 7 are different things. This update would be the row. I have to change this database, but just to show the has authority, and number 7, which is architect. Well, that's all for today. Here you are with the how to run MySQL inside the Kubernetes, how to containerize your database. You can protect much more the database being there inside. There are a couple of limitations for that, and a couple of installations going to be a little bit more difficult, like more complex since it's running a Unix stuff. Dialect. And in this case here, we just have authorization application, which I'm going to use later for some guy called an ambassador filter OUATH2. So this guy is going to be useful for connecting to being an authorization server for different applications. That's what I'm going to do. It's not loading or whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, and this is the end of the lab. Bye bye.